really like this map for Protoss, though.
Me too. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got Game 3 coming at you right now, live tournament action in the Let It Ride tournament for the day. That is July 7th, 2011. We've got Halcyon versus Thor in game number 3 of best of 3. This is going to be tons of fun, and we do have Shikoi with us right now. You're going to be casting with me. Shikoi, what do you have to say about this matchup?
You know, what else could you expect? Master versus Master, Protoss versus Zerg. I mean, these guys have exchanged blows with one another, kind of getting the best of each other. Protoss won long game, Zerg won short game. Now one of them has to win this game, and I'm curious to know who it's going to be.
Yeah, me too. This is going to be great. Looks like we're going to see pretty standard wall in here from our Protoss player, Halcyon.
Which is smart. I mean, you got to get back to your basics, you know. Don't try to do too much. You know you can win in the long game if you just play your best game. So
yeah,
he's just got to be committed to that.
Yeah, and we've seen, I mean, that first game was Halcyon methodically building up a very scary army and then executing his attack extremely well. And so yeah, I mean, I would half expect Halcyon to kind of sit back and kick it in this game.
And I would question, I mean, I don't know if, tell me what your opinion is too, but I mean, it seems like Halcyon is a better long-term player, and it's, I mean, just from the short chance I got to see from Thor, I don't necessarily think he's a very good early game player, but I think Halcyon is just not a very good early game player, so that Thor looks better. You know, those quick rushes and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's partially the race too, I think. But I think you're right. I think Thor probably is. He appears to be a good mid game player, even though we really haven't got to see a good mid game attack from him yet. But I mean, I think that what we'll probably see in this matchup is probably Thor going to try for a mid game attack. I'm kind of half expecting to see him go for some roaches and maybe some early upgrades for those roaches. Try and make something happen in the mid game, because he didn't. I mean, of course, the early game worked, but that was a kind of a fluke because Halcyon tried to fast expand, made a small mistake, and Thor did a great job capitalizing on that. But I think that he's still going to be recollecting what happened in that first game, which was, if I let him sit back and get comfortable, he is going to steamroll me.
You know, and he's got 4 probes on his gas. I'm not sure if he notices that right now, Halcyon.
Ah, sure enough. Yep.
But, I mean, it's pretty standard for both. You know, you've got quick spawning pool, couple Zerglings, bam, expand. For Protoss, you got your double gas. He's building a Stalker, but after that I expect him to probably build a Sentry. And, you know, as soon as that gateway, the gateway technology, warp gate technology is done, he'll probably expand himself.
Yeah. And this is a tough expansion to keep as a Protoss, especially against Zerg. I mean, look at this. You've got a huge wide opening here, right next to your ramp. And then across this hole in the ground, there's another one of the exact same size. Then there's this back door that's got the sight blocking grass. And then there's actually a fourth one where there's the destructible rocks on that ramp going down to the even lower ground.
I find if you forge expand into that and build a cannon in the back and in the front, then you can keep your army generally right in front of that right side, almost where the rocks are. You can fight your army in that general spot if you do it correctly.
Right.
Because if they run around, you'll have a pylon and a cannon, and that should be able to stop Zerg harassment as far as if they use Zerglings. Because then you can wall that part off with a sentry, and you know they've just wasted that many Zerglings.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Now, you play this map a lot, don't you, with Tox Lobo?
Yeah. Oh, man, do we play it.
So that's good. You are very, very familiar with this map. We will definitely be looking to you for some more tips on how things should be playing geographically on this map. I mean, if you see anything going on, we definitely want to hear about that.
Well, I really like Thor's map control right now.
Me too. He's got these Zerglings running all over the place.
He's probably going to keep that Overlord by the grass in that general little area, that poke spot.
Mm-hmm.
Using his Zerglings to probably pick off that probe. No, he's not going to. But he's got control of both Xel'Naga watchtowers. He can drone up like crazy at this point, which he loves to do anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of a big deal.
Yeah. Watching the top up here with this Overlord. Watching the center of the map very well. I mean, yeah, I think map control here right now is definitely going to Thor.
The thing that's most important is a lot of Protoss players at this point, they have a choice. Either they can continue to go long game, or they can get a couple more sentries, a couple stalkers, and a couple more zealots, and try to push, you know?
Right.
But that wouldn't be able to happen because as much map control as he has right now, he could easily form an army.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's just going to keep defending, especially since Thor could even be anticipating the possibility of it and getting spine crawlers up.
Cancels the Nexus. He is going to be moving out on a 5-gate push.
Wow. And Thor is going to see this awesome spine crawler placement. He's going to get roaches up, I imagine. Is there a roach warren up? It's not. Oh, wow. Wow.
This is going to be tough for Thor to hold off, I think, at this point. So that was a very, very nicely done 5-gate fake expand.
He's got to get up there. He's got to push.
Yep. This is his timing window. He cannot allow these spine crawlers to finish.
He's got to force field the ramp, take out the spine crawlers as soon as possible. Don't let him get guys out on the map. And he's just waiting. What is he waiting for?
I'm not entirely sure. It looks like he is going to take out these Zerglings first, which I would say that was probably a little bit of a poor idea on Thor's part. I think I would rather not see him do that.
I would think that was poor on Halcyon because he wasted force fields. He already had a second proxy being built. Who cares if the second one gets down?
Yeah. Don't worry about that other pylon. Just go for it.
Long enough that the roaches are going to be done. This is game. I don't think. I mean, it's going to come down to micro, obviously, but it's just such a window was lost.
Yeah.
And he was worrying so much about his proxy.
Well, as long as he can keep up on good force field placement, this attack should go fairly well for him. I think Thor lost too many of those Zerglings trying to take out the pylons.
I'm going to have to disagree. I mean, Thor is way ahead of him right now.
Yeah.
You noticed two important things here. He waited way too long. I don't know why, honestly. He didn't force field the ramp, which means both bases can reinforce. He is now quitting, but he's so far behind on his expansion as a Protoss player. This is going to kill him because
and that is a lot of roaches to hold off now.
Bad play. He worried so much about his proxy pylon. It's astounding to me.
Yeah.
I realize that he's got to reinforce it. I realize that, especially on an attack like that. But I mean, why not get yourself in position and then worry about that?
Right. Oh, these force fields are not going to be enough. These roaches are getting in position. You're right. This is game.
Wow. And, you know, it comes back to my point, you know, as I mentioned, if he decided to go out and attack, you know, map control was going to see that.
Yep. Very, very well played. There's the GG from Halcyon, even though we did get a GG from Thor as well, but Halcyon did leave the game, so Thor is definitely our winner. Wonderfully played game. That was tons of fun to watch. Thanks, Shakoi, for coming out and casting that with us. We'll be going into the other semifinal matchup here in just a minute between Winhouse and Zamtac. And thank you guys for coming out and watching. Don't alt-tab, always alt StarCraft. We'll see you guys in just a little bit.